In the meantime, we told you at the outset about the president maybe breaking some news here. At least it seemed to be news to me that the so-called caravan of illegals, I say illegals from Honduras trying to move northward into Mexico. It started out as a few hundred, then 500, then 600, then got over 1,000, close to 2,000. Well, word from no less than the President of the United States a few minutes ago that the Mexicans have intervened to break that caravan down. Now, we don't know. It is an issue I'm going to be raising with Vicente Fox, the former president of Mexico, on Fox News about 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, in case you want to know it, because it always goes back to me, on your world. Now, this little business world and the implications of what the president's talking about and doing here, because this group, broken up or en masse, is going to make its way to our border. Then what? Let's talk to former Cincinnati Republican Mayor Ken Blackwell, a very close confidant of the President of the United States. Mayor, always good to see you. What do you make of that? If the president was able to get the Mexicans to intervene with this caravan, break them down, to avoid maybe something that could get very nasty, physically nasty, on the border in a few days, what do you think?
You know, I think what we're seeing, and this ties in with your last conversation with the last panel, we're seeing the emergence of a coherent, unified Trump administration policy. Basically, what we see is evidence that he's pulled together a variety of departments, Homeland Security, the Defense Department. When he gets his people located over there at the State Department in Pompeo, he has Bolton. You know, you have the emergence of a clear Trump policy. He understands that his responsibility is to do two things: is to keep America safe and help create a context where America can prosper. And again, it is unorthodox, but it is now becoming more and more clear what his policy is. And he doesn't see the cabinet departments as being individual fiefdoms of the secretaries that run them. They are, in fact, part of an emerging Trump policy where he uses all of the tools in the toolbox to get a result. So he understands there's a relationship between Mexico's behavior and how we deal with NAFTA and their emergence as a force to stop the nonsense coming up to our border. That is, to me, a good sign, and it should be settling to the markets, because what they don't like, the markets don't like, is uncertainty. What we're starting to get is a clear picture of a Trump policy.
All right, well, you know the president far better than I. When I hear news like this, that the Mexicans have intervened to reduce the size of this caravan that was getting bigger, 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 I always would wonder, well, what made them do that? Because they've not been on first-name terms with the president, and, well, actually, they've called him a number of names and back and forth. So I am wondering what might have gotten this going. Do you think the president made an assurance to the Mexicans, for example, on the wall, that they won't have to pay for it?
Well, no, I don't. I think what he did was he basically said, look, we're very close to a deal with NAFTA, and it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense if you're aiding and abetting nonsense and this march on our borders. Because in the final analysis, Neil, as you know, for a number of years, I was the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations in charge of the human rights portfolio. And I worked with John Bolton then, and we, in fact, understood clearly that we were dealing with 193 nation states. Those nations wanted folks to respect their borders, and they wanted some adherence to the rule of law. This nonsense that's being perpetuated by anarchists, that America should be borderless and that the rule of law can be turned on and off at will, is something that the Trump administration is going to stop. And he's communicating that to our allies and to our trading partners. And he's basically saying, when we have on our jersey, we're going to keep it on. You can't keep taking it on and off. We, in fact, are a team in this regard, and that includes respecting each other's borders and the rule of law in each other's countries.
You know, you never answered my question whether he made a deal. That's how good you are. You know, I noticed that just now. Seriously, Ken, I love having you on. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Ken Blackwell was a former
Cincinnati. Always good to be with you, Neil.
Thank you, sir. The former Cincinnati Mayor, former Ohio Secretary of State, of course, at the United Nations on human rights and related issues as well.